But we'll check in with Ryan Burr. And, of course, he is with the Golf Channel. He joins us now on the Ring Central hotline. Ring Central, the providers of cloud phone and collaboration solutions for easy and seamless business communications. And he's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, Ryan Burr. Ryan, how are you today, bud? What's happening?
Ready for a great day. There's a lot of excitement out here. Rory's back, Jordan, DJ, Bubba. We're looking forward to it.
Relatively benign weather conditions. It doesn't look like what we have on TV with the putting green. The flags aren't whipping around too much. It looks a little sunny. Pretty good scoring conditions.
Yeah, well, the course is real soft. We got some rain, so I think today will be the best scoring day of the week. Right now, very little wind to speak of. It is overcast. It's the warmest day we've had. It's been in the low 70s all week. I think today we're going to get to about 85. So it's going to be warmer than the guys have been used to this week. It's been just perfect. But the course is soft, and anytime you put the best in the world on a soft golf course, they're going to make birdies, and that's what we're going to see today.
Yeah, a guy who's already jumped out to a couple of birdies, tied currently for third, is Dustin Johnson. We all know his history with Whistling Straits and the grounding of his club and losing it on 18th hole on the final round. You know, what's the feel with some of these players like the Dustin Johnsons who have yet to break through?
Well, I got a theory on that. I mean, I think we always like to talk about the best player never to win a major.
Yep.
And that list never really changes. It's always the same names. And my theory on that is it's a lot like football or baseball or basketball, that there is such a thing as trying too hard and being a negative. And, I think of Kershaw, who I think we all admit, especially the last couple of years, is the best pitcher in baseball, yet he gets to the playoffs, and all of a sudden the stuff's not the same. He doesn't have the same command. And, it is trying in that one moment, and you're calling upon your skill. It's not about what you did at Bridgestone or what you did at Hilton Head.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 majors a year, and you're asking your game to be at its best those 4 times. And if you're putting that little extra pressure on yourself, and Tiki will tell you, I don't think pressure is good in anything.
Nope.
And I think that, that's why that list of Sergio and Lee Westwood and Ricky Fowler and Dustin Johnson stays the same, because those guys are just pressing so hard these 4 times a year.
And maybe I'm going too deep into the psychology of playing something at that level, but to me, pressure is fine as long as you compartmentalize it properly. If you let it tighten you up and you grip the club too much, or like I love the baseball reference, the Kershaw and, squeezing the seams and that curveball usually, which is phenomenal. It's got a little less bite. If it manifests itself that way, that's obviously bad. But I do think pressure can be used as a positive.
Well, I think we saw what pressure does to Dustin Johnson on the 72nd hole of both here at the PGA Championship at Whistling Straits, where he had a 1-shot lead on the 72nd hole, and then at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, the 72nd hole, where he has a putt to win, a putt to tie, and ultimately a 3-jack, and he walks away with another heartbreak at a major championship. So DJ's not my pick this week.
There you go. It's funny you brought up the term best golfer without a major. And by the way, that's Ryan Burr, who's out there in Wisconsin, Whistling Straits. Round 1 is underway. If you just tuned in, weather today probably as good as it's going to get. So you might want to get those birdies early, maybe a couple of eagles as well. And, for a while we heard Lee Westwood, best golfer, Lee Westwood. Lee Westwood's probably missed his time. And right now, if it's not Dustin Johnson, it's Jason Day, who's probably the best golfer without a major, at least in my opinion. I think he's got every element, the length and the creativity. I do not think he will even remotely suffer the same fate as a Lee Westwood type. I think when it's all said and done, I think Jason Day has multiple majors. I think he's terrific.
Yeah, not a question of if, but when with Jason Day. Interesting. He's held a 54-hole lead this year at both the U.S. Open and the British Open. He's the first player ever to do that in the history of golf.
Wow.
To have the 54-hole lead of both, but not win.
Yeah.
Other guys have done it, but they were able to close the deal. The deal with him is actually a little bit different. If you look at his major history, just about every time it is Jason Day getting overly conservative late on Sunday. And maybe that is the pressure, but when other guys are going for it, he always seems to take the conservative approach, and it's cost him a few majors. I'm with you, though. I think his mind is right for the taking. I'm not so sure about the scar tissue with Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
But with Jason Day, It could be this week. He's that good.
It almost sounds like when those defensive coordinators play that prevent defense, and the common refrain is, "Oh, you're preventing yourself from winning by playing that prevent defense."
That's a great analogy.
Same thing could apply.
That's exactly. Sometimes you got to play to win.
Yep.
Not play not to lose. We know what happens when teams try not to lose instead of try to win.
Yep. Now, some people may not be familiar with Whistling Straits, but there's a lot of bunkers all over the place. So, what kind
1,000.
of exactly? Wow,
go.
really? So, what kind of game is it? The guy who's straight off the tee? Is it the guy who can fly past some of those things? What is it going to take for whoever's out there this week to have an advantage of winning this PGA Championship?
Right. Well, what's interesting, if you look at like Augusta National and the Masters, the reason the left-handers have been so successful is because Augusta National, throughout all 18 holes, it favors a guy's ball that goes right to left.
Yep.
Most guys that stay, 80, 90% seem to hit the cut shot, with the left-hander, Phil, Bubba, Mike Weir, left-handers hit the cut, and it seems to favor a left-hander's game at Augusta National. What's interesting about Whistling Straits is there are 9 holes that go left to right and 9 holes that go right to left. So immediately you can cross that off as an advantage. Now, the next thing is a bomber's golf course. Well, if I hit it 340 and you hit it 280, I have an advantage on any golf course, right? I mean, that's just how it is. But it's got to be straight. So if you can hit it long and straight, you've got an advantage over the guy that hits it short and straight. But if you hit it long and wide, the guy that hits it short and straight has an advantage no matter where you play. It is a beautiful golf course. I think it's really going to show on television. It's right on Lake Michigan, which I had no idea. Lake Michigan is about the bluest water I've ever seen. It's when the sun's out, it almost looks like the Caribbean. Now, I'm not sure what's making it blue, guys. I'm not going in.
Yeah, it's artificially blue.
The golf course is spectacular, and I think it's really going to show on TV. They've had the PGA Championship twice here, 2004 and 2010. Both years we had playoffs. It has the Ryder Cup in 2020. So America is going to become very familiar with Whistling Straits, which is one of the real gems in this country.
It's a great synopsis of what to. It's a great synopsis, of what to expect over the weekend, the aesthetics, and also the way the course is going to play out. Good stuff. That's Ryan Burr, the Golf Channel, Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.